Hi beautiful people, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. It's great to have you in my little corner of YouTube where we speak all things adulting, faith, and lifestyle. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button. That red button must turn gray. Give this video a massive thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Comment down below what you enjoyed about today's video and what other videos you'd like to see. Share this with anybody and everybody who you think might need it. And last but not least, hit those notification bells so that you do not miss another video. So without wasting any more time, let us get straight into today's video. So we are back with the sit down, the first sit down since Vlogtober. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have not seen any of the vlogs, do check them out. I think we had a whole lot of fun in Vlogtober, but now we're back with a couple of sit downs, and then I will see you guys with a whole lot of vlogs again in Vlogmas. Today I want to share on a few challenges that I have faced, or rather a few lessons that I have learned throughout my first year and a half of actual adulting. Now, I know the law says that you're legally an adult at the age of 18, but you start adulting when you actually move out of the house, you get a job, you start paying your own bills, and actually have to make big girl and big boy decisions. I feel like that's when adulting actually starts. And I think these are things that school did not prepare me for. These are things that life before my actual adulting years did not prepare me for. And I just want to speak to the young adults out there, but not only them, the ones who are coming after us, those who are still in varsity, but also if you are an established adult who wants to just improve your quality of adulting, these are things that you can take note of as well. So let's not waste any more time. I'm going to split it into 4 categories. I think it's 4 categories. I'm going to split these lessons or tips or whatever into 4 categories. And just know that the list is unlimited. This list can go on and on and on, but I think these are the most important lessons that I have learned thus far, and we can always have follow-ups of these with other adults who can share their adulting experiences and things that they learned throughout their early ages or early stages of adulting. But before I get into these, if I haven't mentioned anything that you feel is a very burning and pressing matter, please leave it in the comment section. I have not done a sit down in a while. Please leave it in the comment section so that we can engage in conversation, because I'm not a know-it-all. I'm not an expert at adulting. Like I said, I literally just started. So I'm sharing what I feel like is important. But if you are way beyond my years and you have something else to share, definitely do so. So the first thing that I find, or that I found was very important to prioritize or to learn, is to prioritize your overall health. We speak a lot about, physical health and mental health, but there's more to it than just that, When it comes to your mental health, make sure that you're journaling, make sure that you're reading, make sure you're feeding your mind, as much as you feed your body to keep it healthy, make sure you're feeding your mind as well. When it comes to your physical well-being, what are you eating? How are you resting? How often are you going for medical checkups? Your pap smears, your mammograms, your prostate cancer checks, and all of that stuff. How often are you going for those? Because you should be doing those annually. I'm quite sure a lot of us don't do that as adults, and we should, Are you exercising? What food are you eating? And all of that stuff. That goes into things like learning how to cook, which I'm still getting there with, but we won't talk about that today. If you don't know, now you know. I burn water. That's how bad my cooking is. Toast and avo is a staple for me, but nonetheless I still try to eat as healthy as I can despite not knowing how to cook. I digress. Another thing that you need to look at is your emotional well-being or your emotional health. Do you need to see a therapist? If so, why aren't you seeing a therapist? Are you investing in counseling? If not, why aren't you? Especially if you know that you need these things. I feel like therapy and counseling are not things that you need to only run to when things are bad. I feel like you need to make these a priority. Even if you see your therapist every 2 months, let it be a thing, because sometimes we don't realize that we're spiraling, and then you wake up and it's too late, and now you want a therapist to fix your problems and it's late, Another thing, the most important one, is taking care of your spiritual health. Are you fellowshipping with fellow brethren? Are you meditating on the word if you're a believer? Are you meditating on the word every day? Are you spending time in God's presence? Are you praying? Are you, just doing what needs to be done to take care of your spiritual health? Those are things that have to do with your overall health. Overall health has so many facets to it, but these are the ones that I chose to highlight in today's video. The next section that I want to speak about is your finances. I do have quite a few videos on my finances in this on my channel, so do check those out. However, one thing I want to emphasize is that learning how to manage your finances is an ongoing process. You'll never be an expert. You'll never know everything. So take it from me. I change, how I budget every couple of months. I change my payday routine every couple of months. I will give you guys an updated payday routine in the next couple of weeks, but that's, besides the point. If you haven't checked out my previous one, do make sure to check it out. But yeah, I mean, it's an ongoing cycle. You learn new tips, you learn new tricks, you learn new lessons from the different resources that you're feeding your mind with, feeding your mental health, or your, mental health. So things like that are extremely important. So learning how to draw up a proper budget that you're actually going to stick to, learning how to file your taxes, learning how to pay your bills on time. Because when I moved out of the house, I thought everything is like a debit order. Then I came to learn that your levies are manual payments. Paying for my Wi-Fi is a manual payment. All those things are so manual, and you need to learn to make sure that you pay them on time so that they don't affect things like your credit scores. So these are a number of the things that affect your overall finances that you need to be on top of, because as an adult, you can't afford to find yourself in debt, or you can't afford to have a horrible credit score, especially as a young adult. You're trying to establish yourself, you're trying to buy a car, you're trying to buy a property, you're trying to do so many things that require you to have healthy finances. And if you don't know how to manage them, then you're in trouble. Another thing I want to speak about is taking ownership of your life, both professionally and personally. So from a professional aspect, what steps are you taking to advance your career? How are you upskilling yourself to ensure that you are the best at what you do in your career? What steps are you taking to actually, do the most? Because at the end of the day, after God, you are in the driver's seat of your life. And I always put God at the top, because if you make plans and set goals for your life which are outside of the will of God, then obviously they won't materialize. But at the end of the day, you have to take steps to do the most, both professionally and personally. But from a personal perspective, how are you organizing your life? How are you structuring your life? How are you setting systems in place in your life? Morning routines, evening routines, checklists, to-do lists, vision boards, all of that stuff. Those things are extremely important for you to be on top of your personal and professional life. These are things that I didn't learn in school, which I wish we learned in LO, because I would have loved to learn how to organize all my documents than to learn about substance abuse from grade 8 to matric. No offense to the curriculum and what we learned. That stuff has definitely helped, but I learned about the same things from grade 8 to matric. Whereas I could have learned how to, set up a proper budget. I could have learned how to file things on my computer. I would have learned how to apply for a home loan. Things like that are things that I think we should really, be learning about, because that's the actual adulting. That is the actual life orientation, But anyway, nonetheless, that is essentially what I wanted to speak about when it comes to your personal and professional life. And the last section is an ad hoc or a miscellaneous section. I didn't know what to name this section, but these are things that I still feel are very important to be on top of. Things like learning how to network. Okay, this could have perhaps gone into your professional and personal life, but anyway, things like learning how to network. I am a very introverted person, believe it or not. I have taught myself the art of confidence. I have taught myself the art of, being assertive and being out there. But naturally, I'm a very reserved and very introverted person. And I have had to learn how to network outside of that introvertedness. Sorry, guys. Outside of that introvertedness, I have had to learn how to introduce myself to new people, and I've set that goal for myself that I need to introduce myself to at least 2 new people a month. At the beginning of my time at the firm that I work at, I made it a point to introduce myself to someone new every single week, at least one person every single week. But now that I've found my feet, I introduce myself to someone new at least, or at least 2 people every month. And it's not just about introducing yourself, but building a relationship with that person, because that in essence is building your network. And this is outside of your place of work, this is at church as well. Get into those church communities as well so that you can network. Somebody at church has a business that can help you, knows an HR person that can help you get into a job. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, your network is what's going to help you succeed. It's not your marks. It's not, how your work ethic, all of that stuff are great, cool. They will have a contributing factor, or they will be a contributing factor to your success. But who you know is extremely important to get you into rooms and places that your qualification can't even get you into. Another thing is learning how to manage or build and manage quality relationships, not just romantically, but your friendships and your family as well. One thing I had to learn is that your friendships have a season, and if you don't know how to recognize those seasons and how to recognize the purposes of the different friendships and relationships that you have, you're going to be in trouble, because you're then going to put people in places that they shouldn't be in, which might lead you astray or lead you to a different into a different direction as opposed to your actual goals that you have set for your life. So learn how to invest in quality friendships, quality relationships with your family as well. I think the older you get, the more you need to draw nearer to your family, because that's when the friends become fewer, because you're not in environments where you're forced to be friends with someone because you need to eat with them at break or you need to study with them at the library. Now it's up to you to maintain those friendships, and a lot of them naturally fall away. No beef, no nothing, but they naturally fall away, and that's when you need to cling to your family, because you need the support system. You're not an island. No man is an island. You can't live in isolation. So definitely do learn how to manage and nurture quality relationships. The last thing that I want to speak to you guys about is learning how to set boundaries, not just at work, but in your relationships as well. Setting boundaries is extremely important. Share your schedules with your family, share your schedules with your friends. If you say, hey friend, I can't meet you the whole of November and December because of A, B, and C, they need to understand. If they don't understand, then they don't have your well-being and your visions in mind, and they don't have your best interest in mind as well. So learn how to set boundaries. I'm learning how to set boundaries now at work as well, where I have a cutoff time where I switch off my laptop at least latest 9:30 every night. Sometimes it doesn't really work because work has to be done, but like at least 9:30, so that I know that I'm getting to bed at a reasonable hour and I can wake up and perform at my optimum the next day. So certain boundaries like that are extremely important. If you need to rest, you need to learn how to say no. I can't. Yes, I'm not busy with something, but rest is productive as well, So things like that are extremely important when it comes to setting boundaries. But yeah, let me not belabor the points. These are the top 4 facets of adulting that I have found extremely important in my first year and a bit of adulting. Like I said, I've been an adult for a while now, but an actual adult for just under 2 years, a year and a half, or just over a year and a half. And these are things that I've had to learn. So definitely do fill the comment section with all things that I haven't included in this video. Like I said, the list is endless, but these are the things that I think are important at this moment in time. But with that, we've reached the end of today's video. I look forward to seeing all your thoughts in the comment section, so do leave them there. I think they'll be very helpful, not just to the people coming after us, but people in our age groups, and also, like I said, established adults who want to look back and make a few alterations in their life and their adulting systems that they have going on as well. Another thing I forgot to mention is something that I think is very important, and I couldn't leave this out of the video, is that you're doing well. You're doing okay. You don't have it all figured out. None of us do. We're all still trialing and erroring. I know that is not a word, but we're all still trying to figure it out. We're all still just crawling through this thing called adulting. And you're doing okay. You're doing well. Give yourself credit. Give yourself a pat on the back. Take it easy. You're doing better than you think you are. So don't be too hard on yourself. You deserve grace just like everybody else. Don't look at the next person and think they know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. I might look like I have it all together. I don't know what I'm doing. We're literally just trialing and erroring and trying to figure this thing out. And that is, I think, the basis of this channel as well, to walk through this adulting journey together. So yeah, go back to now the actual the actual video, but don't be so hard on yourself. You're doing better than you think. So with that, we've reached the end of today's video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share this with your circle. And with that, with so much love and so much light from me to you, have an amazing rest of the day. Stay safe and God bless. Bye guys.